Hello everyone, this is Obzzarver. Today we're not going to do one of my more advanced tutorials, but nevertheless people keep asking me in-game, in comments, in streams, in social media, what do you do first when you start out in Landmark? So we're going to go through that very quickly so you have some guidelines on what is the first things you do when you're a new player in the Landmark game closed beta. Whether this can be applied to later versions of the game remains to be seen. If you find yourself in the middle of freaking nowhere when you start for whatever reason, make your way to one of these. You can find them on the minimap. Looks like this. You can zoom out and you can zoom in. Click the glowy crystal thingy. Make sure you're in a tier 1 zone. This will not necessarily be the case when you watch this video because zones will all be tier neutral, but we'll get back to that. Head over to the basic forge, click it, check out what does a copper pick cost. We can see here it costs 10 ingots and a bunch of other things. Alright, note that down. Note that 100 ore makes 1 ingot. Also note down the costs of a tin axe. Head over to the basic workshop located on the opposite side, click it, find the cost under accessories for keen eye bands, multiply by 2, note it down. I'm not mentioning the actual prices in the video here because prices change, so you're best off just making a note of it and then going out and harvesting that stuff. You should be able to find all of the resources that you need for your first items nearby, like here. We have copper. At the end of copper veins you will find tin. And trees will provide you with the heartwood and wood that you need. Some gems can be found in veins of their own, others can be found at the end of ore veins. Some specifics such as, for example, elemental copper can also be found as rare drops within copper veins. Elemental everything is a rare drop from harvesting regular versions of that resource. Check your inventory, see if you have enough of all the resources that you noted down previously, like copper ore, tin, agate and such. Head back to the basic forge. Melt your copper ingots, your tin ingots, craft a copper pick and a tin axe. Head over to the basic workshop, craft 2 keen eye bands. Equip your newly made upgrades like such, put the axe down here on the hotbar and the pickaxe as well, and the rings here in your character sheet. These rings will make it easier for you or faster for you to find the rare resources like elemental copper that you get while mining copper veins. If you bought a founder's pack, you'll have a founder's pickaxe. If you do have a founder's pickaxe, you can basically skip everything up until this point except for the rings. Now that we have a copper pickaxe or a founder's pickaxe, you can mine iron. And once you can mine iron, you may want to go to a tier 2 zone, unless of course you're playing later in the stage of a beta where there will be caves and iron will be further underground. You can't actually smelt iron over here on those basic machines, but what you want to do is you go over here to the basic workshop and you create a claim flag, because the claim flag only needs elemental iron, so not the smelted iron. From the same workshop you also want to create a stone forge. We kind of need the Tinkerer's workshop, but we can't make that yet because we need to smelt iron first, and that's what the stone forge is for. Now that we have our claim flag, we want to go place our claim. Before you do though, you might want to take a look in the claim management menu, and here you can go to the upkeep management and you can add some basic copper. If you're playing later in the beta stage, this might have changed to a different currency, but you want to add at least 300 copper at the time of recording this video, because that's the cost of 24 hours of upkeep for one claim. Looking at the minimap, you can see where there are already people living, existing claims. This is approximately the distance that it has to be between individual claims. I already have a couple of claims, so I'm going to add an attachment claim. The process is exactly the same. Right click your claim flag from your inventory. You'll take this menu. Seeing as this is an attachment claim, it will attach only 2 sides of my existing main claim. However, if you're doing this with your main claim, your first claim, you'll be able to place it pretty much wherever so long as no one else owns that land. You can also adjust the height of it by the mouse wheel. So I click it here, I confirm it, and there we go. Now that you have a claim, you can place your stone forge on top of yourself. And in your stone forge you can smelt more advanced metals, higher tier metals, allowing you to craft higher tiers other things, such as for example the workbench that we were missing, the Tinkerer's workbench. Head back to the portal spire, click on the basic workshop, craft yourself a Tinkerer's workshop, take it back to your claim. Once back in your claim, place your Tinkerer's workshop, and this will basically allow you to create anything. I will recommend that you make, for example, a grappling hook to begin with. That makes the life a lot easier for you. Allows you to do this. Yahoo! And that is essentially how it works. Different machines allows you to build other different machines, and there's basically 4 types of them. You have these, which is like the wood-based ones. You have these here, which is the alchemy ones. You have these, which is the smelting and tool-based ones. Or not based, but anyway. And then you have these, which are outfits and clothing and stuff. All of these 4 groups, though, they have their additions, which is sort of like, what should we call them? In this case, it's a loom that you can see next to here. Refining stations, they're called. Thank you, memory. So with this you can craft different level of refining stations, and what refining stations does, and I would recommend that you get this as soon as possible. Maybe not the loom, it's not the most useful thing, but for example if you go on your forge over there, it will allow you to make different higher tier smelters, which is also a type of refining stations, and they only make the raw resource that you would use the forge for example. So this refining station will allow me to smelt things faster and with a larger gain. So I get a 30% extra material from these and smelt it a lot faster. It's the same thing with the other ones. This one will allow me to cut wood faster into planks. This one allows me to make cloth faster, and so on and so forth. So that is essentially what you need to know. I do hope that answers most of your questions initially. It's pretty easy to see after that once you know the basic works of this system. Don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of this video. Share it with your friends that might find it useful. If you are considering buying the game, or if you are actually going to buy the game, please do use the codes that I've posted at the description of this video. That way I will get more cool stuff to give away to you guys. So, in no time, you'll be this cool. And I'll see you later.